Are you also using Google Forms to receive new registrations and inquiries for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in this video, we are going to understand how to create a Airtable record on Google Forms submission. So I'm an owner of an event management company and I'm using Google Forms to receive new inquiries from my clients. So here my objective is that whenever I'm going to receive new form submission through my Google Forms, then automatically I want to add the details received as a new record in my Airtable so that I can share the Airtable access with my team members to further follow up with the clients. So here to automate the entire process, I need to connect my Google Forms with my Airtable using an automation software named as Pabbly Connect. So to learn this process step by step, let me take you to my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So I run an event management company and I receive new event inquiries through Google Forms. So here on my screen you can see my Google form which I have created with my company name, that is Sparkle Events, and here you can see all the fields that I have taken in my Google form. So now manually managing these inquiries can be overwhelming, especially when I need to organize details for quick follow-ups. So by automatically creating a record in Airtable for each form submission, I can keep all inquiry details in one place, neatly categorized and easy to access. This allows me to quickly review the client's requirements, assign tasks to my team, and streamline the planning process. It helps me stay organized and ensures I never miss an opportunity to connect with potential clients. So here to automate the entire process, I need to connect my Google Forms with my Airtable using an automation software named as Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect is an amazing automation and integration software, and it connects all your favorite apps and makes them work together seamlessly. You can set it up to do things automatically like updating customer info across platforms or sending notifications when something important happens. It's really easy to use and saves you tons of time that you can spend on more important stuff. Plus it keeps everything organized and error free so you can focus on growing your business hassle free. So this is the homepage of Pabbly Connect and you can visit it by simply browsing for the URL pabbly.com/connect. Here you can see two options, that are sign in and sign up free. If you're a new user, click on sign up free and get free 100 tasks every month to explore the software. And if you're an existing user, click on sign in. Here I'm an existing user, so I'm clicking on sign in. Now after signing in, here you can see all Pabbly apps window where you can see all the applications of Pabbly. Here to integrate my applications, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect. Now this is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect, and here to build my connection, I need to create a workflow first. So for that, here I'm going to click on this create workflow button given on the top right corner. Now here in this create workflow dialog box, I have to give a name to my workflow. So here I'm going to give the name as create Airtable record on Google Form submission. And now I'm going to select my folder as automations. You can select the folder as per your need. Also you can create multiple folders to save your workflows accordingly. And now here to learn how to create a new folder inside Pabbly Connect, you have to click on this learn more hyperlink given over here. And by clicking on this, it will take you to a forum window where you can see all the instructions to how to create a new folder inside Pabbly Connect. So now moving back to my Pabbly's dashboard, and here to create a new workflow, I'm going to click on this create button given over here. Now here in this workflow window, you can see we have successfully created a workflow, and here on my screen you can see the two most important principles of an automation process, that are trigger and action. Where trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means action is a response towards a trigger. Your automation can have a single trigger but multiple action steps. Now let's begin with our automation by simply setting up a trigger. So here I'm going to select my trigger application as Google Forms, as I am receiving new submissions through Google Forms. So Google Forms is a free tool that lets you create online surveys and forms quickly and easily. People use it to gather information like feedback or RSVPs because it's simple to set up and share. You can customize your forms with different question types and all responses are automatically organized in a Google Sheet spreadsheet. It's perfect for collecting data, whether you're organizing an event, running a survey, or just collecting information from a group. So here in my Google Forms trigger step, I'm going to select my trigger event as new response received. so that whenever we are going to receive new response through our Google Forms, then automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response, or you can say automatically this entire automation is going to get triggered. And now here, after selecting my trigger event, you can see I have received a webhook URL. That means here I'm going to use this webhook URL to connect my Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. So here, following the instructions given below, firstly here I'm going to copy this webhook URL, and here I've already logged in my Google Forms, and this is the form that I've created using Google Forms. So this is my event inquiry form that I've created for my company. And here, before moving forward with this connection, let me tell you that we need to connect our Google Forms with our Google Sheet in order to receive the responses of our Google Form submission at one place. So here we can do it without any automation. So here you have to make sure that the last field is the required field of your form, and then you have to click on this responses, and from here you can see we have received the option of link to Sheets. So here you have to click on this particular option to connect your Google Forms with Google Sheets. So I'm going to create a new spreadsheet over here. And here you can see we have successfully connected our Google Sheets with our Google Forms. So now let's go and check this connection. So for that we are going to preview this form, and here I'm going to make a test submission over here. So for the name, I'm going to enter the name as dummy user. Here for the email, I'm going to enter the email as dummy@pabblytuts.com. Scrolling little down. Here for the phone number, I'm going to enter random phone number. Here for the type of event, I'm going to select the event type as wedding and the event date as 30th November. And here for the additional service required, I'm going to select the service as entertainment. And now here, after entering all the required details, I'm going to click on the submit given over here. And here you can see it says thanks for submitting your contact info. So now let's go and check our Google Sheets, and here you can see we have received a successful response where we have received the name as dummy user, email as dummy@pabblytuts.com, or random phone number, type of event as wedding, and the event date and additional service required. So with this we have successfully connected our Google Forms with Google Sheets, and now what we are going to do is that we are going to connect this Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect in order to receive all the Google Form responses in our Pabbly's workflow. So for that, what we are going to do is that we are going to click on this extensions, and from here you have to select add-ons. Now here under add-ons you have to select get add-ons. And now here in Google Workspace Marketplace, you have to search for the add-on that is Pabbly Connect Webhooks. So I'm going to search for this add-on, and then you have to install this add-on in your Google Sheets account in order to connect this Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect. So here you can see it is already installed in my Google Sheets account. So moving back, and once you install this add-on, you have to follow these same steps. So now here, after installing that add-on, you have to refresh your Google Sheets, and that's a necessary step. And now here, after refreshing your Google Sheets, you have to click on this extension again, and then you will receive an option for Pabbly Connect Webhooks over here. So here under Pabbly Connect Webhooks, you have to select initial setup. Now here under initial setup, you can see it is asking me for the webhook URL and the trigger column. So here for the webhook URL, I need to enter the webhook URL that I've received in my Pabbly's workflow. So I've successfully entered the webhook URL, and then here it is asking me for the trigger column. So it says the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row data will be sent to the webhook URL. That means here we are going to add the trigger column as our last data column till which we want to receive the response in our Pabbly's workflow. So here you can see in my Google Sheets, my last data column is column G. So I'm going to enter my trigger column as column G, and then I'm going to click on this submit. And here you can see it says setup configured successfully. So now with this, we have successfully set up a webhook inside our Google Sheets. Now after setting up the webhook, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click on the send test data given over here. So by clicking on this send test, I'm going to receive this first row data in my Pabbly's workflow in order to check the connection and build the automation further. So I'm going to click on the send test. And here you can see it says test data sent successfully. So now let's go and check our Pabbly's workflow. And here you can see we have successfully received response over here where we have received the type of event as wedding. Here you can see the trigger column, timestamp, spreadsheet name as Sparkle Events Responses. Here you can see the spreadsheet ID, sheet name, sheet ID, row index, and here you can see the phone number, name, event date, email, and additional service required. Now here, after receiving the response successfully, we are going to perform another very important step in our Google Sheet in order to receive the responses in Pabbly's workflow whenever a new form submission is made. So for that, you have to click on this extensions again, and from here you have to click on this Pabbly Connect webhooks. Now here under Pabbly Connect webhooks, you have to turn on this send on event button in order to receive the response whenever we are going to receive a new response in this Google Sheet. So here we have successfully turned it on. So now let's go and check it. And here you can see we have received a tick in front of send on events. So with this, we have successfully set up our trigger over here. So once we have received a new response in our Google Forms, I want to add the response received to my Airtable as a new record. So for that, here in this action step, I'm going to select my action application as Airtable. So Airtable is a flexible and user-friendly database tool that combines the simplicity of spreadsheet with the power of a database. It's like having a supercharged Excel that can do a lot more. People use Airtable because it helps them organize and manage their projects, data and workflows in a visual and customizable way. You can create tables, rank records, add attachments, and even set up automations to streamline your task. Whether you're planning a project, managing inventory, or tracking client information, Airtable makes it easy to keep everything in one place and collaborate with your team effortlessly. So here in my Airtable action step, I'm going to select my action event as create record, so that whenever we are going to receive new response through our Google Forms, I want to add the response received in my Airtable as a new record. And now here to connect my Airtable with Pabbly Connect, here I'm going to click on this connect. Here to build a new connection, I'm going to select add new connection. If your Airtable account is already connected with Pabbly Connect, then you can click on select existing connection. And now here to build a new connection, I'm going to click on this connect with Airtable. And here you can see Pabbly Connect is requesting for the Airtable access. So I'm going to scroll it little down, and then here it is asking me to select the base. So here I need to select my Airtable base in which I have created the table to store the event and queries. So I've already created a workspace with the name event and queries. So I'm going to select that base. And now here after selecting the base, I'm going to click on this grant access given over here, as your data is secured with Pabbly. Authorization successful. So here you can see we are now successfully connected. So moving forward, and then here it is asking me to select the base name and the table name. So here to get both of these, let me take you back to my table, and here you can see my base name, that is event and queries, and my table name as table 1. So moving back to my Pabbly's workflow, and here I'm going to select my base name as event and queries and my table name as table 1. Now here after selecting both the required details, scrolling little down, and then here you can see it is asking me to enter the name, mobile number, email, event type, event date, and additional service. So basically these are the fields that I've entered in my Airtable. So moving back to my Pabbly's workflow, and now here instead of entering these details manually, here I'm going to map the data. Mapping data means insert data from previous step. That means here I'm going to map the data from the response that I've received in my trigger step. Mapping makes a text dynamic so that whenever we're going to receive new response through our Google Forms, then automatically this previously existing detail will be updated with the new one. So I'm going to search for the name. So here you can see my lead's name, that is dummy user. So I'm going to map it over here. Here for the phone number, I'm going to map the mobile number. So this is the mobile number. Here for the email, I'm going to map the email. Here for the event type, I'm going to select the event type selected. So this is the type of event. Here for the event date, I'm going to select the date. Here for the additional service, I'm going to select the additional service required. And now here after entering all the required details, I'm going to click on the save and send test request given over here. And here you can see we have received a successful response. That means we have successfully created a new record for the new response received in our Google Forms. So now let's go and check it. Here I'm going to refresh it. And here you can see we have successfully created a new record with the name dummy user, random phone number, email address as dummy@pabblytudes.com, event type as wedding, event date, and the additional service required. So with this, we have successfully set up our automation. Now let's test our automation to check whether it is working or not. So to test our automation, what we are going to do is that we are going to make another form submission through our Google Forms. So for that, let me take you back to my form. Here I'm going to refresh it. And now again here I'm going to enter some dummy data and do a test submission. So here for the name, I'm going to enter the name as Smart Lead, email as smart@pabblytudes.com, scrolling little down. Here for the phone number, I'm going to enter random phone number. Here for the type of event, I'm going to select school events, and here for the event date, I'm going to select the date as 23rd November and the additional service required as return gifts. And now here after entering all the required details, I'm going to click on the submit given over here. And here you can see it says thanks for submitting your contact info. That means we have successfully made a new form submission over here. So now let's go and check our Google Sheets first. And here you can see we have successfully received a response over here where we have received the name as Smart Lead, email as smart@pablitudes.com, a random phone number, type of event as school events. And here you can see the event date and the additional service required as return gifts. So this was the response that we have received in our Google Sheets. So now let's go and check our Airtable. And here you can see we have successfully received a response over here where we have received the name as Smart Lead, same mobile number, email, event type, event date, and additional service. So with this, we have successfully tested our automation. Now let me summarize this whole video for you. So here we have taken our trigger as Google Forms and our action as Airtable, so that whenever we are going to receive new response through our Google Forms, then automatically the response is going to add as a new record in our Airtable. Okay, so these were the steps to how to create a table record on Google Forms submission. Now if you want to use the same workflow, then you can find the clone link in the description box below. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching.
Not only these applications, you can integrate many other applications with Pabbly Connect. So now if you have any doubt, then you can email us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any query, then you can reach out to us at forum.pabbly.com, and if you have any pricing related issue, then you can simply visit our website, that is www.pabbly.com. So now if you liked our video, then please subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends.